Morning everybody, how are y'all doing today? I'm doing great myself because, I thought Quantum was finally done. Or should I say, I thought we were finally done with him. But of course not. Of course, right after I say that, he turns around and puts out one of the worst God of War Ragnarok first impression videos I've ever seen. Actually, the worst, because technically I've never seen a God of War Ragnarok first impressions video, so this is the worst one. But I guess that technically makes it the best one as well, huh? No, it's Quantum, it doesn't. But yeah, basically this video was supposed to be him going over this new TV or whatever, and showing what it could do with God of War. And of course, instead of talking about how great the TV is, he spends the entire video complaining that there's not enough action in the intro of God of War, when he, cuts it off right before the action starts, and says the graphics look really bad, and just a whole bunch of really stupid things. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get right into it. This is probably going to be a bit of a longer video.
First thing I need to do is find audio. We're going to have to get rid of all of the music because unfortunately, you know as well as I do, copyright is not going to let this play out. I'm going to get hit with all kinds of bullshit. And they'll probably block it worldwide because, that's just the thing that they like to do. Subtitles, I do not need.
Kind of like how copyright is a thing that you like to do, and you tried to block people's videos worldwide simply because they wanted to criticize you. It's just so ironic that Quantum, of all people, is afraid of copyright. And by the way, I forgot to mention this in the intro, but there might be times where we cut around to random spots, and that's because a lot of this video is just him sitting there in silence, just watching what's happening. Either that, or it's just something I didn't feel like covering, either because it was repetitive, or it wasn't, like, a bad enough of a complaint to warrant me covering. So if there's any random jumps between one piece of commentary from me and another, then that's why.
I hate film grain. We're immediately taking away all film grain. Motion blur I'll allow.
Alright, Quantum was based for taking away film grain, but then he allowed motion blur, and I just couldn't be satisfied anymore. Every time this man does something good, he undoes it with something. Kind of more of a meme criticism than anything, but let's get into the actual meat and potatoes now.
Puzzle timing, default, extended plus. Oh, Lord. I really don't know how hard these puzzles are about to be if I have all these puzzle options, but whatever, we'll see what happens.
Considering you couldn't even be bothered to scroll down a web page to see how to properly install and set up an emulation file on the Steam Deck, they need to add like a triple plus extended time for you, my dude.
So yeah, let's get into the game now. All right, we're gonna go. I don't want the recap, don't need that, played the game. Give me a story. I like that. Very easy. You jump in and you just enjoy the game on easy mode. Now, I'm what you call a casual gamer, so for you guys that love a challenge, hey, go for it, but I work a hard job and I just kind of play these kind of games to unwind. And so hopefully you guys can unwind with me as we see how this television looks with this display.
I just find it very ironic that in this video, Quantum's saying, oh yeah, I'm just a casual gamer, when in his other videos on the Steam Deck, he was trying so hard to prove how much of a real PC gamer he was. Showing off his really expensive rigs and just proving how he had more of an opinion than other people because he spent more money on PC gaming. But now he's just, a casual. He just likes to unwind after a hard day of work. Which, what work do you do, Quantum? You sit in front of a camera and you talk about TVs. I guarantee you bought the Steam Deck and your super expensive PCs with your wife's money.
I am a little bit confused as to what's going on with the pelt. I mean, not really as much as the way, as I would expect from this console. It's kind of like mashed together, kind of like when you see grass sometimes on low resolutions.
I mean, what's wrong with that pelt? It's perfectly fine. It looks great in all honesty, and that's another thing as well you need to keep in mind. Quantum is playing on performance mode, not graphics mode, and it still looks this good. So whenever he complains about the graphics not looking very good or anything, just keep that in mind.
But yeah, so far here we are, playing the game, and I wish they would have opened the scene a little bit more dynamically. I would say, like, this is kind of boring. Because it's like, he's just sitting by the fire. Like, that was like a good minute and a half of just him sitting by the fire. It's pretty lame. Also not a fan of, like, them hauling in their kill. That's not my thing.
Dude, you are a minute into the game and you're already complaining that it's too slow. Give it like 10 minutes and you'll see what happens. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but the action picks up pretty quickly. Hell, it even picks up in this video and then he complains that the action picks up. Also, what do you mean you don't like that they're dragging in their kill? Like, what kind of complaint is that? Atreus killed a deer and he brought it into the cave. What's wrong with that? Would it have been better if he left it outside the cave instead? Like, I don't understand. This is already getting so nitpicky, and just wait, guys, it's only gonna get worse.
Really don't like that model of Atreus. They made him look so soft. He's supposed to be like some hardcore Viking, you know, he's supposed to be some badass. Such is the times, I guess.
You haven't even seen Atreus in the light yet. It was absurdly dark in that scene. And on top of that, why do you expect him to be just as battle-hardened as Kratos? The kid is 14 years old in this game. He's still training to become an insanely strong super soldier like his father. Again, no spoilers, but, you know, training is a part of this game's story. And, you know, just like how the last game, Kratos constantly wanted to be training Atreus for the future.
That boy doesn't look like he's done work a day in his life. I mean, yeah, sure, he was hauling in a deer, but he doesn't look like it. What a shame. I'm sure it's all by design.
How is one supposed to look like they just dragged in a deer? Quantum, I don't know if you've noticed this, but often what happens when you're hunting is the deer gets shot, the deer dies, and that's the end of it. You're acting like you're expecting Atreus to be, like, completely bloody, scarred, and war-torn. Like, no, dude, he hunted a deer. I'm not a hunter myself, but if I went out into the wilderness, shot a deer, and then brought it back to my house, I probably wouldn't look any different than I do right now.
Alright, can we get out of this cave? Yeah? Anytime. Anytime we're gonna get out of the cave. We've been in the cave for like 5 minutes. It's a long time to be in a cave. Ah, the dead body. Can't live without that. Lord knows we gotta have this helpless animal in our arms and just, you know, why not? You know, that's just how the story's opening up. Alright.
Jesus, dude, what did this cave do to you? You've been in here for what, like a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes at most? My god, what do you have against this cave? It's clearly winter. It's probably freezing outside. And what's this complaint about him bringing the dead body? Why would Atreus go and hunt that deer and then just drop it in the cave and then they leave it? No, dude, they're obviously gonna use it probably for food or something. This is the most nitpicky video I think I've ever seen in the history of YouTube, and I'm not exaggerating.
Again, if at any point this seems overly critical, I'm just watching this for the first time, kind of giving commentary and showing this TV and kind of giving a play-by-play, if you will. This is like a genuine reaction to all of this stuff, so I have no idea what the hell is about to happen. I didn't watch any like playthrough videos or any of that crap. This is just me like, hey, jump into the game. What do you get? This is what you get. So, some people might not like my initial reaction, but hey, that's cool. It's my initial reaction. You probably will have yours, whatever.
Quantum, don't lie, you will have a huge issue if people criticize your reaction. It is not cool to you if people do not agree with your initial reaction. I wouldn't be surprised if you struck my video just for it existing. I mean, if you really have no problem with what people think of your first reaction, then you should have no problem with this video whatsoever. But something tells me you might.
Gotta tell you, I'm really not impressed graphically so far. Like, I'm really not. Looking a bit on the lame side. I am sitting up close, though, so maybe that's why. I don't know.
Okay, how could you say you're not impressed by those graphics? Those are some of the best graphics I've ever seen in a game, period. And what's even better is, once again, this thing is in performance mode. This isn't even the best the game could look. If you want a visually stunning experience, then switch it to graphics mode. Don't set it to performance mode and then complain that the visuals aren't as good as they should be. Good lord.
The snow physics are improved, that's good. You can see it breaking apart as they run. Trees still look kind of crappy, but they'll do. And you're not gonna spend all game looking at a tree anyway, right? The hell was that?
Again, how do those trees look bad? Those trees look absurdly good. I swear to God, this man is trying to find anything to complain about. Then again, the rage bait does get him good views, so I guess keep at it.
No way it's that easy. She was just flying at us.
Give up that easy.
Yeah, I was just saying.
She never does. Stay alert.
So, like, they've been fighting before? Like, where was all of this, like, constant fighting? She never does. What does he mean by that?
Well, Quantum, using some logic, there were 3 years that passed canonically between this game and the last game. Something tells me, you know, if they killed her son, she wouldn't wait 3 years before trying to kill them again. She would probably continuously try to attack them. But why am I expecting common sense and logic from you, of all people?
What? What are we doing right now? Okay, so is she like unconscious now? What happened to the mountain? Why is the mountain just like falling apart? Did I miss something? Like, did something happen?
The mountain isn't falling apart, it's just some things are falling over and some trees were falling down because she was messing stuff up. I'm not super into the story or anything like that, you know, I still gotta play through the game to get to more of it. But something tells me that based off the fact that she just screamed at him and then all of that stuff came in behind her, she had something to do with that. I mean, I have no idea, I could sound like an idiot right now. But something tells me that was her last-ditch effort to try and cut them off and kill them. And naturally it failed. But not too long ago, Quantum, you were complaining that there was no action, and now all of a sudden you're questioning all the action. You want there to be action, and then once it happens, you're like, why are there cool things happening on the screen right now?
Okay, more caves. Caves. Caves.
Oh god, guys, watch out, there's more caves. We can't have those in a game that Quantum's playing.
Okay, so like they're going real slow now. I mean, I know we're home, but damn, can we like speed things up or like...
Jesus Christ, Quantum, please shut up. They're going too slow for you when they're pulling into their house now. If they go any faster, they're gonna crash into something. You do know how physics works, right? I mean, hell, I got like a B- in physics, and even I know that. When they're going around those turns, if they go too fast, they're gonna flip over and crash into something. When you're pulling into your driveway, do you pull in at like 30 miles an hour? At least I hope not. Thinking about the fact that this man can drive actually scares me.
Closing the old doors. Don't know what good that's gonna do. It's literally just a wooden gate that you push. But
I will get the deer.
$100 says Quantum has a fence outside of his house. $100. Like, what are these criticisms? Who cares? It's a fence. You close it so that way people know not to disturb you. It lets people know your house is not just open to be walked up to. If I wanted to go to somebody's house but I was uninvited and I saw their fence was closed, I would probably be like, oh, okay, they're probably not home or something. I'll leave them alone. Like, what kind of complaints are these?
that's disgusting. You just pin animals to that tree there. Ah, and the Mutt's Feast. Gotcha. Boy, they really don't like deer, do they? Like, I remember in the first game you had to kill deer, in this game you have to kill deer. We get it, you don't like deer. I mean, like, it's not really like a reoccurring theme that I'd like to keep rehashing. But okay.
You can tell the vegan inside of Quantum is getting extremely triggered at this. He does not like the fact that there is hunting in this game. And I love how he says, oh, they must just hate deer. No, dude, it's just deer get hunted and we make food out of them or give them to the animals for food. It's just that simple. I find it very ironic that he's complaining that they're feeding the dogs when, you know, on every single one of his videos he has a fundraiser for dogs. But just wait, it's about to get way worse.
I mean, you've got like 2 other dogs.
You have to let go.
I mean, I don't know, man. Is it just me, or does it seem like it's like hard to love multiple animals? Like if you got 3 dogs, isn't it like I don't know. It's weird. Like I have to have no more than like maybe 2, maybe 3 is a bit pushing it for me. I don't know. Personal thing here. Just reacting to the game.
I love how he says all that and then realizes he sounds like a psychopath, so he's like, oh, this is just me reacting to the game though, guys. This man actually just said, oh, why are you sad that the dog is dying? You have 2 more. Oh my god. I'm actually done. And that whole thing about, oh, I can't love more than 2 animals at a time. Jesus Christ. Look, I get having a bunch of animals can be a lot to manage, but does that mean you love them less? Oh my god, Quantum, listen to yourself. I hope you aren't the same way with people, like you can only love like your wife and like one child, and then after that everybody else you just can't love. This man sounds more and more like a psychopath with each passing day. And I get it, it's just a video game, I know that. But this man is talking about real life experience, saying that it's hard for him to love more than 2 animals at a time. Jesus. I mean, I would definitely only own 1 animal at a time. But here's a real life example. Back when I lived at home, I had 2 neighbors who were like right next to me, and they each had 1 dog, and I loved them both. If we were to get a dog, that doesn't mean I have to choose 1 dog to stop loving. I can love them all. How did this video even get to this point? We started off talking about Quantum's god-awful first impressions of God of War, and now I'm talking about my life back at home with my neighbor's dogs.
Hey, Phil. Sophie.
What is he saying? I don't know what that means. Is that a spell? Is that Russian?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Jesus Christ, dude, I'm actually done. I'm actually done. Oh my god, I feel like screaming right now. This man did not just say, "Is that Russian?" when he's playing a game about Norse mythology. I don't think there has ever been a more perfect clip than the one I just played to sum up that entire thing he just said. It wasn't even rambling or anything, but good lord. I am in actual pain watching this right now.
I don't want to fight anyone. I just want answers.
And if those answers lead to war with Asgard,
Maybe that's what Mother wanted.
what Mother wanted?
You just said you don't want to fight, and now you want a war. Like, this is the shit I'm talking about, bro. Pick a storyline. Like, the fuck is even happening right now?
Atreus never said he wanted a war. He said that's what his mother may have wanted. He said he did not want to fight, and then Kratos said, oh, what if that leads to a war? And then Atreus said maybe that's what Mother wanted. At no point during that entire exchange did Atreus ever go back on what he said. He never went back and said, oh, actually, I want a war. No, he said that's what his mother would have wanted, or supposedly would have wanted. Quantum, I don't know why you're playing these story-based games, honestly, because your attention span is not long enough for them.
Did he not just, grow up killing a bunch of innocent animals his entire life, hauling in the carcass of some deer in the opening of the story, and I'm supposed to cry because his wolf finally got old and died? Why should I care? I'm sorry, that is not somebody I'm gonna feel sorry for. The wolf that's, feasting on the pent-up deer. The circle of life, you live, you die, right? If that's what you live by, then live by it. Don't sit there crying and whining about it now that the time has come. Especially since you're, trained since, childhood to be this warrior.
Quantum, I can't believe I have to say this, but there's a difference between a wolf/dog and a deer. Does this dude not realize that when people have dogs, it's like family to them? Yes, you're supposed to feel sad for him. His best friend just died. And you're saying, oh, boo-hoo, you killed a deer, so you have no right to be sad, and you have other wolves as well? Shut the hell up, Quantum. And again, this is so hypocritical coming from the guy who literally has a charity fundraiser on every single one of his videos that goes towards dogs. And yes, Quantum, you're absolutely right, circle of life. But that doesn't mean somebody can't feel sad when somebody close to them dies. To all my cat owners out there, sorry guys. I know you guys had to take dead fish, either catch them yourself or have somebody else catch them for you and buy it at the supermarket or whatever. And then you had to feed it to them. But sorry guys, even though that cat was your brother or sister or whatever, you're not allowed to feel sad when it dies because the cat ate something else that died. This is so stupid. And don't try to act all righteous and, oh, you're a vegan, you're saving the animals. You do realize that plants are alive too, right? You have to kill plants to eat them. You do understand this, correct? And also, Quantum, in case you hadn't noticed, the whole reason that a whole lot of animals exist is to die. The whole concept behind predator versus prey is the predators exist eat the prey, and then the prey doesn't overpopulate, and there's constantly higher and higher predators, so that way nothing goes unchecked with humans at the top. And humans tame certain predators and make them like family. Like, I'm sorry, I love deer and all, but you cannot tell me a deer has the same level of emotional attachment to somebody as a dog does.
This is probably one of the most boring stories I've ever seen in a PlayStation game. Like, it's so slow. Do I really need the backstory of, oh, the boy's dog died? What next, man? Like, I mean, we already had Kratos. I mean, this is turning to a full-ass country song. My wife died. Fucking, you know, the world's out to get me.
So we're gonna ignore that whole fight scene right at the beginning. Also, dude, you are like 10 minutes into the game. Give it some more time. Good God, they're building up. Not everything is gonna happen right off the bat. That's not the kind of game this is. If you want a game that's just action right from the get-go, go play like Doom or something. The main focus of this game is the story. Also, this whole thing with the wolf dying and stuff, that's not backstory. That's actively what's happening in the game. The backstory would have been that recap that you refused to watch at the beginning, where it's like, oh, you can recap the previous game, which I think is actually a really cool feature. Also, that voice crack, good lord.
And then the graphics are like kind of muddy right here, like as I'm looking at his arm. It's just like low textures. What the hell?
I've said this like 3 times now, Quantum, but you are playing on performance mode. Of course, some things are going to be dialed back. If you want the game to look as good as possible, play it on graphics mode.
Now it's daytime? What just happened? He's laying in bed and then... What?
Oh my god, Quantum, you cannot be this stupid, dude. This is obviously a dream sequence. He laid down in bed, got back up, it's a completely different time of day, and his wife is there, who, you know, is dead. This is obviously him having a dream. Use your brain, dude. Oh my god.
Yo, I'm not digging her attitude right now. Like, at all.
Good boy.
Bro, she needs a fist to the mouth, like, straight up. Disrespectful ass.
Jesus Christ, did this dude actually just say Kratos should domestically abuse his wife? Oh my god. Man's just said he needs to punch her in the face because she wants to help a wolf. And because she was, you know, playfully mocking him, saying good boy because he moved a log for her. Oh my god. I don't know if I'm laughing with joy or with pain. I think it might be a mix of the two. So the wife makes a little playful jab and says good boy, and Quantum's first response is we must commit domestic abuse. Good Lord Almighty.
Ugh, this game is not a looker. Well, alright, I'm gonna take a break from playing this because I'm bored out of my mind. I'll probably hop back on it a little later, but...
You unstable, brother.
Yeah,
Try it.
I don't know. This is not going at a fun pace for me.
Been opened.
Literally play for like 10 more minutes and something incredible happens. I'm not even joking. I'm not going to drop any spoilers, but let's just say some pretty good characters show up. And there's some pretty good action that Quantum is so desperately craving.
I'm really not impressed. I'm kind of disappointed because, like, visually this looks a lot like the last game. Like, a lot like the last game.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the graphics were already absurdly good on the last game, so it's hard to get much better. And once again, you're in performance mode, which turns down resolution, textures, shadows, etc. So if you want the best graphics possible, you're gonna have to put it on quality mode. If only this game was on PC, then you wouldn't have to worry about sacrificing one for another. Don't worry, it'll happen soon enough.
Thank you guys so much for watching the #1 brand in honesty. This is kind of like my first reaction to the game, so again, it's not a review or anything. I'm just kind of candidly reacting to the game as I was playing it. So if you don't like what I had to say about it, that's fine. Enjoy it, play it, do your thing. Maybe it'll get better, probably will, but so far I'm bored. It's a very slow game for me, and I'm bored. So I'm gonna play something else or watch Crunchyroll or something, I don't know. But thanks for watching the #1 brand in honesty, and until the next video, I'll see you guys later.
Well, thank God, guys, we made it through the video. And just remember, I cut out so much because this man either sat there in silence or just repeated the same points over and over again. So I guess you're welcome for that. I genuinely hope this man does make a review of this game because I would love to see that and potentially cover it. But before I go, I just want to say, and you guys know, I almost never advertise my memberships at all besides when I first got them. But I'm adding a new perk to every single member tier, doesn't matter which one you are. We're opening up a members only Discord. I'm not doing a public Discord because that would be too much to manage and it would just be a huge headache, and you know, with me having school and everything, I just wouldn't have the time for that. But yeah, I'm making a members only Discord right now. I got to get everything set up and it should be live either later tonight or tomorrow, depending on when you're watching the video, obviously. So yeah, if you want to be a part of that, you can either click the join button next to the subscribe button, or you can click the link in the description, and there will be a community post for members only, which will give you access to the server. If you don't want to, trust me, I totally get it. I'm just trying to add as many things as possible to my memberships because, you know, I want to give back to people as much as I possibly can. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will catch you all next time.